Pontiac G6 Convertible stands as a prime example of a car project that took on far more than it could realistically handle, an ambitious idea that ended up struggling under its own weight. But here's where it gets controversial. Was the G6 Convertible just ahead of its time, or was it doomed by poor planning and overcomplicated engineering? Let's explore. There's a well-worn phrase that fits perfectly here. How hard could it be? Nestled between the classic "hold my beer" and "watch this," it suggests the kind of confident underestimation that often precedes a misstep. While there's no telling if anyone at Pontiac actually said this during the development of the G6 Convertible, it's easy to imagine that someone glanced at the sleek European hardtop convertibles and thought, why can't we do that too? The result was a car that looked quite stylish for its era and offered an affordable 4-seat hardtop convertible option. But behind the glossy exterior, trouble was brewing. The Pontiac G6 Convertible was built on GM's Epsilon platform, which had first seen success in the Saab 9-3, a car celebrated for its strong engineering and European refinement. However, by the time GM introduced the 2004 Chevrolet Malibu, the platform's limitations were more apparent. The Malibu, by contrast, felt uninspired with a bland interior, awkward styling, and heavy-handed steering that underwhelmed drivers and hinted at GM's struggle to balance cost and quality. It was almost like a step down from the finely tuned 9-3, and many saw it as a car for those who couldn't afford competitors like the Nissan Altima. GM's challenge was clear: how to create something appealing in the middle ground. That's where Pontiac stepped in with the G6 to replace the Grand Am. Unlike the dull Malibu, the G6 brought sharp, sporty styling and a nicer interior that avoided bargain bin looks. It even introduced cool features for its time, like a multi-panel panoramic moonroof. The model lineup started with a sedan, expanded to a coupe, and promised a convertible that would cater to drivers eager to enjoy the open air. Unlike Saab, which offered a soft-top convertible version of the 9-3, Pontiac aimed higher with a power retractable hardtop, a sophisticated and trendy feature in the 2000s. Due to the G6's longer wheelbase compared to the Saab, the convertibles needed a brand-new mechanism. GM contracted development to a joint venture between Karmann Technical Developments, a company with storied experience building iconic convertibles like the Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, and American Sunroof Corporation, ASC. Unfortunately, this joint effort quickly fell apart. Production, initially slated for late 2005, faced delays that pushed shipments into early 2006. Pat Sweeney, president of the UAW local at GM's Orion plant where the G6 was built, noted these delays but didn't specify the cause. An insider revealed that the main challenge was adapting a retractable hardtop to a unibody vehicle, a tricky engineering puzzle given the structural demands. While Karmann had expertise in retractable hardtops globally, its American division was still gaining traction, and GM was responsible for integrating the roof with the car's body and interior. These factors complicated the development. By late 2005, reports surfaced that durability testing had not gone well. The retractable hardtop, expected to endure 16,000 to 20,000 open-close cycles, reportedly failed in fewer than 10,000. Fitment issues, such as poor alignment between the deck lid and rear fenders, compounded quality concerns. GM pushed back hard against these claims. Jim Hobson, a GM spokesman, assured that the convertible's roof met or exceeded life cycle requirements, but was deliberately vague on specifics. He downplayed the issues, remarking, "I've never been involved in a vehicle program that didn't have some problems," and reiterated plans for a 2006 launch. Production eventually began in early 2006, but issues persisted. From an engineering standpoint, turning a unibody sedan into a convertible is akin to cutting a hole in a cereal box. It compromises structural rigidity and requires significant reinforcements. The G6 convertible did receive additional bracing and a unique suspension setup to handle extra weight and chassis flex, but these fixes were only partially successful. Reviews were mixed at best. Motor Trend pointed out that while the car was quiet and stiff with the roof up, its body became notably loose and wiggly when the roof was down. Consumer Reports echoed this sentiment, calling the convertible mediocre, highlighting rattles from the hardtop and untidy trunk wiring that suggested unfinished quality. AutoWeek dug deeper, revealing that the G6 convertible's torsional rigidity with the roof down was only marginally better, or even worse in some bending aspects, than soft-top rivals in the same price range. Although the hardtop reduced wind and road noise compared to fabric roofs, the overall structural improvements were minimal. This translated into bothersome squeaks and rattles, issues that may be more noticeable to more attentive drivers but would certainly erode enjoyment over time. The retracting roof system itself had its drawbacks. While preserving the G6's clean coupe lines by raising the deck lid less than 2 inches compared to the hardtop coupe, this design compromised trunk space severely. In a 2007 comparison test, Karmann driver noted the convertible only offered a scant 2 cubic feet of trunk volume with the top stowed, a miserly amount for practical use. Additionally, the mechanism was slow, taking 34 seconds to retract and 30 seconds to deploy, far longer than the Mustang convertible's soft top, which finished its operation in roughly half that time. Despite these significant challenges, the G6 convertible found moderate acceptance, largely due to a lack of strong competitors. The Chrysler Sebring convertible and Ford Mustang V6 models of the era were themselves not shining examples in their segment. Additionally, the G6 convertible's starting price just under $30,000 made it an appealing budget option for buyers seeking the style of a hardtop convertible. In late 2007, GM and Karmann launched updated hardtop mechanisms attempting to address the squeak and rattle issues by enhancing the durability of the panel latches. This fix reportedly improved quality, yet the timing was unfortunate. By late 2008, GM was financially struggling, leading to a government bailout and restructuring. Pontiac as a brand was one of the casualties, and by the end of the 2009 model year, the G6 convertible was discontinued after barely 3 years of production. Over time, the convertible's complex folding roof with its 8 microswitches, 5 hydraulic cylinders, and a dozen-plus diagnostic codes became a known maintenance headache. Spare parts like sensors, trim, latches, and glass are now scarce, transforming the G6 convertible into a sort of orphan car that's difficult and expensive to repair. So what's the takeaway? The Pontiac,